I pretended to be a mafia mob wife in my wildest dreams, all because of my Wattpad obsession. Now, if you have read stories, you're looking to read, you're a book lover, or I don't know, you've just read your textbook at some point in your life, well, we have read a few things and we thought we'd like to share a little bit with you guys. So why don't you
Take it from
us?
us.
Boom, 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 boom. Okay, okay.
We're just vibing on camera.
I feel myself up. It's
For
imaginary
books.
music. Oh, hell yeah. I am a book lover. So, of course, I'm going to hype myself up for all the books that I'm going to share about today.
And I am interested in knowing what books you've read because, okay,
Yes.
you guys don't know, but she
Yeah.
really is like the definition of book lover. Like you type in book lover into Google, right? You hit images, right? Her image is the
And
first
my
image
stupid
you
face
see.
will pop up.
Yeah. So what I want to know is how many books have you read before, and run me through what are as many books as you would like to recommend to me, because my
Wow,
repertoire
okay.
is definitely not as deep as yours. So I think we
Okay.
should start with you.
Okay, but I think we definitely delve into different genres.
Okay.
Okay, I think first of all, maybe I'll just give a little bit of a backstory as to my book journey. Yeah, we throw it back a little bit. So I think if you watched the previous episode, you'll know that I got banned from the library when I was super young. So you can click on that if you're curious to see why I got banned. But anyways,
It's
so
still hilarious to me that you got banned from reading. Of all things, reading.
no, but I think that's like it's quirky. It's like a quirky trait. You know what I mean?
But your fun fact when you go to school.
Yeah, I know for real. But okay, but since then, I think if you ask me like how many books I've read, that's probably like I don't know, definitely way more than like 200, 300, like in my lifetime. And that's because that's like just over the years I've constantly been reading books. But I definitely
Wow.
stopped reading or had a reading slump during like JC years, so maybe about 2 years ago, because you're just busy with life. So I just
Real.
didn't really feel like reading that much. I just didn't have the time to. But then now I've been getting back into reading books, and then also trying to read long form articles as well. So that's what I've been trying to challenge myself to do, because my memory is shit.
Real.
It
Same.
is like a goldfish. Yeah. So goldfish buddies. Okay, anyway, so then that's why I was like, okay, I gotta try and like read something long form, and also to train my attention span, because it's super short with TikTok,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, TikTok brain rot is a real thing.
Yeah, no, but you see, because like with books, like to me, I choose books that are interesting. So I don't read non-fiction. Like that is something that I need to get into. Like I really need to get into. I know everyone always recommends non-fiction books, and they're like, oh, you're at an age where like you should. And it is. I think it is good, but it's really not my cup of tea. So I've like my reading goal. I have a few reading goals. One of it is to read one non-fiction book this year.
A singular
Yes.
non-fiction in 365 days, just one. book.
Correct. And the
Okay.
second one is to read 20 fiction books this year, which I am very much
The
on
ratio
track.
is crazy.
1 to 20 is insane,
They are
right? Yeah.
crazy.
No, do you know that I borrowed a book from a friend? Shout out to Kaylin if you're watching this. Since like year one,
Okay.
sem one of uni, and I have not touched the book that he's given me ever since. Like, I borrowed two. I've returned one already, but
Oh.
it's called I think it's called The Law of Power or something. It's,
Oh,
it's a
the
big red
48 Laws
one.
of Power. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
there's 680 pages in there.
Yeah, no,
crazy.
which is yeah, but guess what? I recently just read Dune in 4 days, and that's like 550 pages. So to me, it's like basically
Okay, so
I'm
like,
just
one gets more love than the other.
yeah.
clearly.
Okay, Iva's favorite.
Yeah.
I have a favorite child.
Yeah,
The other
yeah.
one neglected,
Yeah,
abandoned.
middle child.
Call
Yeah.
the police. Get me out of here. Like so I. Yeah, so that's my reading goal.
Okay,
But
wow.
anyways, if you ask me what type of genres I read, so
Yeah.
like I said, I don't read nonfiction. I read fiction. I don't have a specific genre that I read, but I do like romance, and I do
Okay.
like just interesting shit. So okay, my favorite is romance and Asian literature, specifically
Wow.
Japanese literature.
Oh,
Yeah.
why?
So because it's there's two types of Japanese literature. Okay,
Uh-huh.
my map again.
Okay.
Da-da-ding. I'm kidding. You don't need my map. It's just 2 points. It's just
Okay.
basically Japanese lit. There's basically two subcategories. One will
Okay.
be the more simple slice of life, and one
Okay.
is surrealism. So if you're looking at surrealism, you're looking at people like Murakami. You're looking at I forgot her name. Maybe I'll ask Wen to insert the book here, like Quaco. Basically, I think it's called Heaven, or there's Heaven, there's Breast and Eggs. A lot of different books. Surrealism is basically the idea that you're blurring the lines between like reality and fantasy. So
Okay.
what they talk about is very abstract, and then suddenly it's like, oh shit, you're in some like dreamscape, and like everything weird just happens and magical shit. Not fantasy. There is like no elves, no like dwarves or any shit like that.
gnomes,
Yeah, none
okay,
of that
okay.
ish. It's you're still you, but it's just like holy shit, you're like kind of like on a trip. Like you're like
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
So
okay.
but there's a reason as to why they use like all of this, and you know, if you delve into that, that's that category.
Interesting.
Not my style though. I prefer the
Really?
other one, which is
Oh.
Slice of Life. Yeah. Slice of Life, because it's just very simplistic, but to be fair, maybe because of the translation from Japanese to English, so you lose some of the beauty of the language, yada yada.
Oh.
But it's a very slice of life. So, for example, you look at books like Kitchen
Hmm.
by, I think her name is Banana Yoshimoto, if I remember correctly, or like I Want to Die But I Want to Eat the Poke. That's Korean lit, but it's basically that type of like, yeah. Or there's one, I think it's called insert novel here, but it's basically an orange on the cover. Basically
Great
a lot of
description.
simplistic.
Good luck to
Look,
our
you'll get
producer.
it. You'll get it.
Yeah.
Okay, trust me, you'll get it. But no, yeah. So simplistic literature. I like it because it's very slice of life. I feel
Yeah.
like it's apt. It's slice of life, but they examine the issues that really are kind of pertinent to society. So, for example, okay, off the top of my head, I can just remember Kitchen, but basically it centers around somebody using her kitchen, and it's
Yeah.
just a regular like, oh, go and cook, go and clean. But she talks about what's her role like as a woman in society, and also about the idea of coping with grief because of certain things that happen in the story. So how the kitchen comes into play, and that's a lot of it's like very metaphorical basically.
Okay.
But that is Japanese literature. And then, like I said, I like romance. What I don't like is fantasy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, define fantasy. So
Elves,
gnomes.
gnomes, dwarves.
So like Lord of the Rings.
Okay, so that's the thing. I will read Lord of the Rings, but if you're asking me to read like certain series like Mortal Instruments or like okay, insert book here.
for my
yeah,
sake.
correct.
Okay.
You can go watch the video. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay, basically things that involve like a lot of like magical shit, like fairies or
Yeah.
like I don't do that. I really don't. Yeah.
So what about the Harry Potter series?
Oh, that's fine to me, but I'm not like the hugest fan. No,
Percy
you see,
Jackson?
I didn't really read Percy Jackson. I'll be very honest.
Okay.
Like I read
Okay.
parts of it, which
Okay.
is okay. When I say fantasy, Greek mythology is fine, but when I say
Okay.
fantasy, it's really like, dude, they're like, yeah, like the romance and everything is like with like elves and fairies and stuff, and then there's like. Okay, I have like just books like in my mind, like just scrolling through. Maybe I'll just try and insert them here if possible. But no, it's just not my thing. I think just the fact that because I can bend things, like suddenly like, oh, you got a problem, here's my solution, whips out some like, I don't know, random magical sword or
Yeah,
some shit
yeah.
like that. Whereas in other stories it's like, oh shit, you have a problem.
Let's
Okay.
deal with it. Yeah, let's deal with it
It's
in real
like,
life.
shit,
Or if it's not gonna get
yeah.
solved, too bad, you know.
Yeah, as in
Yeah.
like certain elements of fantasy, sure. But
Yeah.
I'm not like, yeah.
If it's 100% make-believe world, then you find
Yeah,
yourself
yeah,
very
yeah.
hard to like go into it.
Yes, but obviously I have a few exceptions, Lord of the Rings being one. I
Yeah.
have not actually fully read it because I read it when I was 9 and I gave up halfway because it is just so descriptive. And at 9 years old, you don't want to read descriptions. You
Yeah.
want to get to like the
Yeah.
action bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I love the movie, so I'll probably read it again. And then, a few Greek mythology series. But to me, Greek mythology has, despite it being supposed make-believe, debatable, it's still founded in some truth. And they have very good, like backstories. Like, as in, they back each other up. You know what I
Yep,
mean? Like,
yep,
it's a team
yep.
thing. Like, it's not just like in all accounts, Zeus is always like god of lightning, and like he always does some crazy shit. He's always angry. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yep.
Yeah. So hey man, I'm just saying.
Cute.
Hey,
Cut to all the different books that
Yeah.
involve Greek mythology. We just go and find
Zeus,
that
if
trend.
you do watch, I do love you. Don't kill me.
Don't strike me, thanks.
Yes, it's what happens in every single book possible with Zeus. Okay, think about it. Poseidon, god of the sea, comes out of the water with some stupid trident.
Yep.
It's like the dark, broody, mysterious figure who is like the antithesis of like Zeus.
Yep,
Girl,
yep,
Poseidon, you have my heart. Okay, like if you were here, I would choose you over Zeus. Okay. Anyways, aside from that,
That was so whoa. That was so
that's not even my favorite genre. Okay, but anyways, but let me just bring it back to what I've read a lot. So, but currently, I can tell you a few things that I've read. to end my monologue, which would be
This video goes on for like 1 hour long, but
no, really,
honestly,
it's
it's
just
like
me.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but for me, what I've read recently, I think Dune. So I read the first book of Dune, which is the first book out of 24 books, by the way.
There's
which
24
is crazy.
books.
Yeah, and the first book is like 500 pages. So I'm like kind of excited, but I'm also. Oh, okay. Fun fact also,
That's crazy.
I
Wow.
don't buy books. So
Okay. Yep.
I always borrow from the library. So number one, I have a
Same.
deadline.
Oh.
And number two, you can't find shit a lot of the time because it's like at other parts of Singapore.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
like I just have to kind of like, okay, put it on the back burner, like move on with my life
Yeah,
and not think
yeah.
about it again. Yeah, but it's always like that. So okay, so Dune. I've read it's a Korean lit novel called Lemon. Which is very nice. It's a psychological thriller. They
Ooh.
say it's a crime mystery, but they're lying. It's not a crime mystery. Okay.
Shout out to the author.
Whoever wrote the blurb, okay? Can I just say, people, you know what was underrated? People who write the blurbs and people who design the book covers, okay? Because here's the thing, I do judge a book by its cover. I will admit it straight up, okay? If I'm walking past the library shelves, okay, there's
Yeah.
like millions or hundreds of books, right?
Yep.
I'm not gonna go for one that has some like random, like I don't know,
How
Arial
to, blah,
font
blah, blah.
size.
Yeah.
Like no, give me like Calibri, give me like some Times New Roman shit,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like Helvetica if you're feeling fancy or something like that, you know. So book covers, look, I'm not gonna pick it up if it doesn't speak out to me. So if I'm not gonna pick it up, I'm not gonna read the blurb, okay? So number one, you gotta hook me in, okay? Marketing 101.
yeah,
Hook
marketing.
me in, okay? And then number two, the blurb, okay? Because sometimes the blurbs are so interesting.
Okay.
Sometimes it's so interesting. Then when I
Yeah.
read the first chapter, I feel so betrayed. I'm like,
You
why?
sold this shit for nothing.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm like, why? It's like, girl, you giving me nothing. Like I read the book, all the words, all 100 words, zero. You know, so I'm like, what a waste of words and time.
But
Like,
then you imagine those people who actually bought the books. Then what a waste of money
exactly,
to...
which is why I don't buy the books. Also because I don't read books again. Like once I read it
Yeah.
once, I usually just don't read anything again. There's only
If you have a bookshelf in your house, the whole bookshelf
Literally-
is stacked, but like nothing gets
Nothing.
touched after the first read.
just for like aesthetic
Yeah,
purpose.
when you
yeah.
read this, 2008.
Yeah, correct. I think there's only one book in my life that I've read. I've been like, oh, actually, I would put this like I would buy it.
Yeah.
Like just one book out of
Okay.
everything I've read. Everything else, I'm like, been there, done that. I'm good. Move on. Yeah, I'll recommend it or like
Yeah.
I'll remember. And I take nowadays I take pictures of like pages or lines that I like, just so like it's there. But like sentimental for what? I don't know. Like
Real,
yeah,
real.
that's it. So anyways, yeah. So Lemon. Back to Lemon. Basically, it's a supposedly psychological crime thriller. There is a thriller part involved, but you delve more into how she reacts to grief and how a lot of people around her. So it's not just from the so basically someone died. Wow,
Oh.
thriller. And then after that, it's around it's centered around the sister.
Yeah.
A few years after, and then a few other people who are also like not really involved but kind of involved. But the
Yeah.
way they do it is that she doesn't actually reveal everything to you. So a lot of it is very fragmented narratives.
Yeah.
You're following like a phone call conversation. So it's not a full on like chapter. It's like phone call conversations or it's like a monologue to yourself. So it's up to you to like piece it together. So that's what I've been reading. But it's a very short book, 100 pages. I'd
Oh,
estimate.
lovely.
Yeah, it takes you maybe like a day
Appeals
or
to
two.
my TikTok brain.
Yeah,
but-
yeah,
Nice.
and it's in chapters too, so you can
Oh my
just
God,
put
thank you.
down a
Yes,
chapter.
yeah.
What else have I read recently? The Man I Didn't Marry, romance novel by Anna Bell, I think. Don't know this author. Never read any of her books before, but it's quite lighthearted, rom-com. Basically, guy, amnesia, oh no, falls in love again.
Yeah.
And then, there's more, but okay, I think I'll wrap it up for now. It'll come out eventually, it's
Your
continue
reading,
talking.
your reading experience is so vastly different from mine. For me, it's like, okay, you say you don't like non-fiction.
Yeah.
You prefer fiction, but
Yeah.
even your fiction also sounds like it's grounded in reality. So it's like, it's not fully 100%. It's not like fantasy fiction,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Okay, yeah.
But for me, it's like I love 100% pure non-fiction.
non-fiction, yeah.
Like self-help. I used to read quite a number of self-help books. Okay, so my experience was when I was really, really young. I can't even remember, like
Okay.
many years old, right? I used to read the entire Harry Potter series
Okay.
back to back,
Oh my god.
day after day,
Really?
3 times.
No way.
Yeah. So
What-
right? Say,
okay.
I also don't believe.
What's
only.
your house?
What's my? Oh, I was like, huh?
Girl, you read the book 3 times. What do you mean, what's your- you
Singapore,
don't know
want my
what's your
postal code?
house?
Wow, what's my house? The last
You
time,
don't know?
the
You're
last
such a
time I did-
muggle,
the-
honestly. I read
Go
the
back,
book 3
muggle.
times.
Okay, no, wait. Like,
Okay,
okay,
okay.
I think my house the last time I did it was like years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was Hufflepuff.
Okay.
It's either Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw. I can't remember.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay,
one
okay.
of the two forgettable houses.
Yeah, yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Then after
No,
that,
it's
like,
true. He has a point. We are forgettable.
Sorry. But so one of the two houses.
United
Now,
we
I was
stand.
deeply disappointed I didn't get Gryffindor, by the way. Like,
Because you want to be Harry Potter, right?
Yeah,
Main character
like,
vibe?
bruh.
Yeah, I knew it.
I already have the scars to make up for it. Okay, I just need the Gryffindor.
Gryffindor,
Yeah, the
like,
validation.
yeah.
Okay, but yeah, so I read those like 3 times, and that is probably the only fictional series that I've read.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Did
Then,
you take lit in school?
did I take lit in school? Yes, only in secondary too. Then after that, I got fed up with like them asking me like, what do you think the author means of this? And then everybody's just talking about 1 comma. And I'm like,
Yeah.
bruh, it's punctuation.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I couldn't really get into that.
Yeah.
Again, sorry. I think I'm going to apologize a lot this episode to everybody
No,
out
it's
there.
fine.
But yeah, so literature pieces, came in secondary school. And then after that, I got into a phase of really reading non-stop. I think this was in army. So we just jumped the entire like secondary school, JC education, because like I was just hopeless at that time. Like nothing going through the head, nothing educational going through the head.
Okay.
And then came to army and I wanted to make better use of my time there. So I started reading.
Okay.
But it's quite funny. Okay, so when I was in command school, we would wake up at like 5, right?
Yeah.
We go for breakfast, and then around like we will go back to the bunk at around 6, 7 a.m. And then it was rest time all the way until the day started at around 10 a.m.
7 to
So
10. Okay.
7 to 10. So most people would sleep during this time.
Yeah, fair.
But
100%.
for me, I wanted to read.
Okay.
So I used that time to
Where did that determination come from?
I broke up lah
Oh,
at that time.
my
So
bad.
yeah, so that used to be the motivating.
Sorry.
Yeah, that used to be the motivating factor. So like I
No,
couldn't.
right. Good for you,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
Strengthen your mind. Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't want to watch like my phone or anything, videos or whatnot. Number 1, because nothing much to watch. Number
Yeah.
2, didn't know what to watch. Number 3, I felt like if I watched the rest of the day, I'll just be super lethargic.
Yeah. It's
So
like, set your brain.
so for me, it's like to keep away that midday brain fog. I thought of just reading.
Reading,
So
yeah.
I clocked in a book almost every week.
Oh,
Like I finished
okay.
a book within every week. And I think I covered like easily 10 books in a span of like a month.
yeah.
Because I was
Sounds like
just
good.
on a roll.
Because it's every
And-
day, right?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
And because I read non-fiction, there were a lot of pointers to glean. So I thought, hey, why not create a document to put down all the pointers that I've learned from the
Yeah,
books.
yeah.
I did that. I had like, I think a 30-page document.
Oh,
like
shit.
Google Docs.
Just words of wisdom.
Right?
Really. Yeah.
And I lost it. I lost this entire document. And
Moment of
I don't know
silence.
I don't know where it went. I think it cleared when I accidentally cleared the Google Mail trash or whatever lah. I was just devastated after that
Oh,
point.
shit,
So
yeah.
I stopped reading.
Oh no.
Yeah, I
Delete.
I
Shit.
broke
Not
up.
gonna
I
do
broke up with
again.
books, and then after that, I just carried on with life. Got into uni, and then right now, I'm getting back into the
Reading
to
grind,
the
yeah.
the grind of things, and
Okay.
I'm still reading non-fiction books, but now I'm into. So last time, what I used to read in army was When Breath Becomes Air. That's a glorious book, by the way.
that's a good one, yeah.
Have you read it before?
No, but it's on my TBR. To be
You
read.
you
Yeah,
100% recommend because it tells the tale of this. I think neurosurgeon.
Yeah,
Neurosurgeon. Then he gets diagnosed with an illness, and you just see how he deals with that illness
Yeah.
throughout. So it's just a very beautiful autobiography. I think it's an autobiography.
Okay.
Beautiful autobiography that's very well put. And I teared. Like
Wow, okay,
I
okay.
teared from reading, and I usually don't get very
It's okay,
emotive.
man.
Yeah,
It's
I
alright.
don't get
I-
emotional with books. With
It's
movies,
okay.
yes,
I've cried numerous times for multiple reasons.
Oh.
Both books and movies.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
But can you imagine the scene, like you as the commander coming into the bunk, right? Everybody's sleeping, and then just one dude just like, Like to
You know,
the
it's a
book?
very poignant scene. That's like movie
Yeah.
scene-esque, you know what I mean? Our boys go army, but like zoom in.
that one deleted
one
scene that
cadet,
they didn't put in.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So I read when breath becomes air, the subtle art of not giving a beep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a good book, a good reminder. I think all the books that I read are all good reminders of how we should live our life.
So-
Just learning how to say no and learning
yeah,
how
yeah.
to be more confident in your own thinking.
So do you
Yeah.
think your self-help books actually help you?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, interesting.
Because right now, what I'm reading are a mix between self-help. Like I reread books also, which you don't do,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
You read once and then we're done. One and done,
100%,
right?
yep.
For me, I like to reread books because I remember that it's a good book that I read and there are a lot of lessons to be learned, but I don't have the habit of remembering what the lessons are.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
to me, it's like I need to
Gets,
reread
yeah.
the books. And right now, what I do is you put it in a document. I highlight. No, sorry. You take screenshots. I
Yeah.
highlight the lines that I like, and then I transfer that either onto a document
Yeah.
or I put it on Instagram
Account,
that I've created. Looking to learn if anybody's interested. But anyway, it's just a way for me to store whatever I've learned, and so that like when I come back to it, I don't have to read the whole book. I just read what I find was important to me at that point in time.
No, that's good. That's good. Like I said, memory of a goldfish. I think also it's
Yeah.
nice to just like consolidate like shit as well. Like as in, like even just like I do like little book reviews and stuff,
Yes.
right? On my like I have an Instagram for it. Like we have a book club, and then there's I have a telly channel for it. But I think it's nice because then I can go back and be like, oh, that's what I thought about this book. Or like sometimes it's also just when you recommend to friends. I don't know. It's quite cute. Like when people will come to me and be like, hey, what books should I like? I love it. I'm like, oh, I'm like the sorting
Let me tell you
hat.
about it.
Yeah, I'm like the sorting hat in like Harry Potter. I'm like, okay, which book should you get today? Like, you know? And they tell me, and I'm like, okay, like,
Yeah.
what genre? Then I feel like, oh my God, I feel like I'm like mix and matching, like in the kitchen type of vibe. Yeah, but I think it's a good, I don't know, I think reading, like both reading fiction and non-fiction, I think it's quite beneficial, honestly. Like I
100%.
think a lot of people nowadays are getting back into reading, which is great. I love that. But I think I would like to also stand up for my fiction girlies and guys, that it is actually beneficial, to read fiction. Because I think some people have the impression that it's not, because like, you know, what, like you're not learning anything. It's not like self-help per se, or like a lesson. But I still think you learn shit from it. And also, what's wrong with enjoying something, right? Like
Real.
just having something to enjoy. Why do I need to like glean lessons or like you know, like, oh, I need some bigger meaning? Girl, I just want to sit in a field of flowers and just sit there, drink some tea and read. Like
I create
it's-
my own dreamscape.
yeah, like
Yeah,
it's not that hard. You know
Oh,
what
yeah,
I mean? Like
yeah.
I just want to live there, live my life and enjoy it. Like
I think it just depends on what you want to glean from the book. Like some people want to
yeah,
glean
yeah.
lessons, self-help. Others want to glean like this getaway from life.
yeah, especially
Yeah.
if people think of it as like an escape. Like sometimes it's like, oh shit, there's like a lot going on in my life.
Yeah.
But like, okay,
But-
let me read and just chill for a while.
But it also depends on like what phase of life you're in also. So for me, it's like I'm in the
yeah.
business phase of my life. So I'm
Sure,
reading a lot of
sure.
business books, .com
Yeah.
secrets, million dollar weekend. Yeah. So all these books is to help with the current phase of life. So I think for our viewers, like just read whatever you want. Fiction, non-fiction, everything in between, everything outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just knock yourselves out.
Yeah.
But if you have a book recommendation that you would like to recommend to us, for us to read, or for all our viewers to read, make sure to drop it in the comments down below. This is where we come to the end of this episode. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and watch all our other videos on our YouTube at tifupod Squad. We are releasing an episode every Wednesday at 7 p.m. I don't know which way is 7, but yeah, 7 p.m. You get the gist. But where else can they find us?
You can also find us on Spotify as well. So maybe while you're choosing what book to read, when you're at the bookstore, you're at the library, you can listen to us, plug it in your ears through our Spotify episode. Also released every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And you can also check us out on Instagram at tifupod Squad, where we release our where we release our upcoming episodes. We have our stories where you can interact with us and yet back to us as well. So once again, if you want to talk to us, you want to comment about anything that we said, you want to share a book recommendation, or you just want to chill with us, hang out with us, we welcome all of you with open arms.
But that's it from us today. We hope next time you guys can
Take it
it from
from
us. Bye!
Bye. Slay.